Hallo und willkommen. Hello and welcome to 3-Minute German Course 1. I'm Kieran, and I'm a language tutor based in the UK, and I wrote this course to help you to learn to speak German. This course is based on the method I developed for teaching languages, which I use in all my classes and courses. This method will get you speaking quickly without the struggle normally associated with learning a language. If you've struggled with learning languages in the past, then please give this course a go, as it's perfect for you. We are all human beings, which means we all possess the attributes that make us human beings. There's a wonderful quote by a man called Terence. He said many years ago, "I am human, and nothing that is human is alien to me." What I take that to mean is that if one person is capable of learning something, then we are all capable of learning it, because we're all humans too. There's nothing in the world that I can't understand if somebody before me has succeeded in understanding it. Therefore, it's only logical that since there are more than 100 million people in the world who have managed to learn to speak German, then you can learn it too. Anyway, philosophizing over, let's begin. German in 3 minutes? I hear you cry suspiciously. Yes, this course is intricately designed to get you speaking German in the shortest time possible. I've created this course as a complete German course for the complete beginner, who only has a few minutes to spare each day. Everything you need is contained in this course, and I've set out each lesson so that they can be completed in short bursts for whenever you find yourself with a moment of freedom. Before you start this course, let me share with you an extremely handy learning tip that helped me to progress quickly and effectively in language learning. When most people start studying for anything, they tend to spend the first day or two studying for hours and hours and get through loads of work. However, very quickly this begins to dwindle. You might feel like spending hours studying German, which is great, but you want that feeling of motivation to continue, and it won't continue if you're actually spending hours studying. Limit your study time to chunks of just 3 minutes, no more. If you limit your studying to just 3-minute chunks, there are 3 things that will happen. Firstly, you'll maintain enthusiasm. If you want to learn anything, you have to maintain enthusiasm, or else you won't continue. If you limit your study time to just 3 minutes, you'll keep German fresh and exciting, and you'll be eager to learn. If you spend hours studying, very quickly you'll get bored with German, and it will turn into a chore. Secondly, you'll have more consistent studying. It's much better to study for 3 minutes once a day than to study for 3 hours once a week. A spare 3 minutes is relatively easy to find even in the most hectic of schedules. If you make sure you complete at least one 3-minute study session every day, it will quickly become a habit that you'll do without thinking. It's much easier to fit in a daily 3-minute habit than a weekly 1-hour habit. By doing this, you'll become a much more consistent learner, and consistency is the key to success. And finally, you'll achieve more effective memorization. This is my favourite reason as to why you should limit your study to just 3-minute chunks. If you study something for just 3 minutes every day, you'll trick your brain into memorizing the information more quickly than if it were to see the information for hours each day. It will think, I see this information every day, so it must be important, but I don't see it for very long, so I'd better hold on to it and make it into a memory fast. You'll be amazed at how much more easily things tend to stay in your brain if you limit yourself to just 3 minutes a day. So 3 minutes is the key. You should aim to do at least one 3-minute chunk every day. Any more than that is a bonus, but 1 is fine. Just listen to this course and complete the exercises, and that's it. You'll be amazed at how much you can learn. Here is your first word in German. Gut. Gut. It means good. Here's your next word. Es ist. Es ist. This means it is. So, how would you say in German, it is good? Es ist gut. Es ist gut. It is good. You'll start to notice some similarities between German words and English words. For example, fantastisch. Fantastisch. Well, you can probably guess that this means fantastic. Fantastisch. So how would you say in German, it is fantastic? Es ist fantastisch. Es ist fantastisch. Here's a word that doesn't really look like English. Ganz. Ganz. It means absolutely. The Z on the end of the word, ganz, is pronounced as though it were a TS. Ganz. Means absolutely. So how would you say in German, it is absolutely fantastic? Es ist ganz fantastisch. Es ist ganz fantastisch. So far we've had gut, meaning good. Es ist, meaning it is. Fantastisch, meaning fantastic. And ganz, meaning absolutely. Remember that the letter Z in German is pronounced as though it were a TS, ganz. Here's a cute little word in German that looks remarkably like the English. Hier. Hier. It means here. Here. So how would you say in German, it is here? Es ist hier. Es ist hier. Or how would you say, it is good here? Es ist gut hier. Es ist gut hier. How would you say in German, it is fantastic here? Es ist fantastisch hier. Es ist fantastisch hier. Or how would you say, it is absolutely fantastic here? Es ist ganz fantastisch hier. Es ist ganz fantastisch hier. Here's a word you might recognize if you've learnt any German before. Sehr. Sehr. It means very. Sehr. So how would you say in German, it is very good? Es ist sehr gut. Es ist sehr gut. So far we've had gut, meaning good. Es ist, which means it is. Fantastisch, meaning fantastic. Ganz, which means absolutely. Hier, meaning here. And sehr, meaning very. How do you say in German, it is very good here? Es ist sehr gut hier. Es ist sehr gut hier. So, es ist means it is. Well, here's the opposite. Es ist nicht. Es ist nicht. It means it isn't. The CH in the word nicht, and the word nicht means not, but the CH in that word is sort of like a soft K, nicht. Es ist nicht. You'll hear some German people pronounce it as if it were an actual K, nicht. Es ist nicht. But most of the time you'll hear it pronounced es ist nicht. So es ist nicht means it is not, or it isn't. So how do you say in German, it isn't here? Es ist nicht hier. Es ist nicht hier. Or how would you say, it isn't good? Es ist nicht gut. Es ist nicht gut. Or how would you say, it isn't very good? Es ist nicht sehr gut. Es ist nicht sehr gut. Or it isn't fantastic. Es ist nicht fantastisch. Es ist nicht fantastisch. Or how would you say, it isn't very good here? Es ist nicht sehr gut hier. Es ist nicht sehr gut hier. You've learnt quite a few words and phrases in German now, and you've hopefully been saying them out loud so that you can master the pronunciation. Now, to really embed these words and phrases in your brain, let's do some translations. I'll say some sentences in English, and I want you to try and say them in German. So how do you say in German, it's good? Es ist gut. Es ist gut. How do you say, it's absolutely fantastic here? Es ist ganz fantastisch hier. Es ist ganz fantastisch hier. It's good here. Es ist gut hier. Es ist gut hier. It is very good. Es ist sehr gut. Es ist sehr gut. It isn't good here. Es ist nicht gut hier. Es ist nicht gut hier. It isn't good, it's fantastic. Es ist nicht gut, es ist fantastisch. Es ist nicht gut, es ist fantastisch. It's fantastic. Es ist fantastisch. Es ist fantastisch. Or how do you say, it's fantastic here? Es ist fantastisch hier. Es ist fantastisch hier. Or what about, it isn't good here, it's absolutely fantastic. Es ist nicht gut hier. Es ist ganz fantastisch. Es ist nicht gut hier. Es ist ganz fantastisch. It's very good here. Es ist sehr gut hier. Es ist sehr gut hier. Now let's have a go at doing some reverse translations. I'll say some sentences in German and see if you can work out what they are in English. So what does this mean in English? Es ist nicht sehr gut. Es ist nicht sehr gut. It isn't very good. Es ist sehr gut. Es ist sehr gut. It is very good. Es ist nicht hier. Es ist nicht hier. It isn't here. Es ist ganz fantastisch hier. Es ist ganz fantastisch hier. It is absolutely fantastic here. Es ist nicht sehr gut hier. Es ist nicht sehr gut hier. It is not very good here. Es ist gut. Es ist gut. It's good. Es ist hier. Es ist hier. It's here. Es ist nicht gut hier. Es ist nicht gut hier. It isn't good here. Es ist gut hier. Es ist gut hier. It is good here. Es ist nicht gut. Es ist ganz fantastisch. Es ist nicht gut. Es ist ganz fantastisch. It isn't good. It's absolutely fantastic. So let's have a quick recap of all the words we've learnt in this lesson. How do you say these words in German? It is. Es ist. Es ist. Absolutely. Ganz. Ganz. Fantastic. Fantastisch. Fantastisch. Good. Gut. Gut. Hier. 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 Very. Sehr. Sehr. And it isn't. Es ist nicht. Es ist nicht. So that was your first lesson in German, and there is plenty that you can do to ensure that the language stays firmly in your brain and doesn't disappear. You can play about with building sentences from the words you've learnt so far. Whenever you find yourself with a spare 30 seconds, think of something you can say in German. Saying short sentences to yourself in German throughout the day helps to keep the language at the forefront of your mind. Also, from time to time, there may be a word or two, or maybe three, that just will not stay in your brain, no matter how hard you try to memorize it. What you should do to overcome this is write the word down in English, in big letters, in the middle of a blank piece of paper. Fold the paper up and put it in your pocket. Then, a few times each day, take it out, unfold it, and look at the English word. Whenever you see the English word, say the German word to yourself, along with a German sentence that contains this word. The first few times, you might struggle to think of what the German word is, and you'll have to double check. However, pretty quickly, you'll remember the German word without having to check. You'll be amazed at how well this technique works. Finally, before I end this first lesson, I'll just give you some information on what it means to learn a language. Memorizing lots of words isn't what it means to learn a language. It's a start, but it isn't going to get you very far. What you need to be able to do is put those words together to get your thoughts and ideas across to somebody else. Each time you learn a new word, think to yourself, where could I use this? Make up a sentence and think about where you could say it. Es ist sehr gut. You could say this to a waiter in a restaurant when he asks you how your meal is. By doing this, you're giving the words relevance in your life. You'll remember things much more easily if you can see where it's going to be useful. Also, by building sentences, you're subconsciously creating a list of things to say so that you'll never be lost for words. Even when you're in Germany, you can do this. Before entering a restaurant, for example, have a quick think about what you could say to the waiter when you go inside. This helps to build your confidence and stops you from having to think on the spot. You'll be much more likely to speak if you have already prepared something to say. Let's start this lesson with a quick recap of the words and phrases we learned in the last lesson. How do you say the following in German? Absolutely. Ganz. It isn't. Es ist nicht. Good. Gut. Fantastic. Fantastisch. Very. Sehr. It is. Es ist. Hier. Hier. If there are any words you can't remember, go back to the last lesson and have a quick review of them before you start this lesson. It's really important that you remember the words you've learnt so far before you move on to learn any more. Here's your first word in German for this lesson. Lecker. Lecker. It means delicious. Lecker. So how would you say in German, it is delicious? Es ist lecker. Es ist lecker. Here's your next word in German. It's quite a long one. Außergewöhnlich. Außergewöhnlich. It means extraordinary. Außergewöhnlich. Literally, gewöhnlich means usual or normal, and außer means out of. So außergewöhnlich, out of the usual or out of the normal or extraordinary. Außergewöhnlich. So how would you say in German, it is extraordinary? Es ist außergewöhnlich. Es ist außergewöhnlich. So the W in German is pronounced like a V. Außergewöhnlich. And you'll notice that the O has two little dots on top. Well, that's called an umlaut, and it changes the way you pronounce the letter in German. Normally, the letter O in German is pronounced similar to the letter O in the English word octopus, like an O. But when you put an umlaut over the O in German, then you pronounce it more like the U in the English word burn, like an Ö. So außergewöhnlich. How would you say in German, it is absolutely extraordinary? Es ist ganz außergewöhnlich. Es ist ganz außergewöhnlich. Or how would you say, it is absolutely extraordinary here? Es ist ganz außergewöhnlich hier. Es ist ganz außergewöhnlich hier. Now here's a beautiful little word in German. Schön. Schön. Well, firstly, you'll notice there is an umlaut over the O, so it's pronounced like an Ö. Schön. And schön means beautiful. Schön. So how would you say in German, it is beautiful? Es ist schön. Es ist schön. So far we've had lecker, which means delicious. Außergewöhnlich, meaning extraordinary. And schön, meaning beautiful. So how would you say in German, it is very beautiful? Es ist sehr schön. Es ist sehr schön. Or how would you say, it is very beautiful here? Es ist sehr schön hier. Es ist sehr schön hier. How would you say, it is absolutely beautiful here? Es ist ganz schön hier. Es ist ganz schön hier. Here's a useful phrase in German. Für mich. Für mich. It means for me. Für mich. So how would you say in German, it is for me? Es ist für mich. Es ist für mich. Or how would you say, it isn't for me? Es ist nicht für mich. Es ist nicht für mich. How would you say in German, it isn't good for me? Es ist nicht gut für mich. Es ist nicht gut für mich. Or what about, it isn't very good for me? Es ist nicht sehr gut für mich. Es ist nicht sehr gut für mich. The phrase für mich actually has two meanings in German. We've seen it can mean for me, but if you put für mich at the start of a sentence in German, it can mean in my opinion or I think. So für mich means for me and also in my opinion. When you put für mich So far we've had lecker, meaning delicious, außergewöhnlich, meaning extraordinary, schön, which means beautiful, für mich, for me, but if you put für mich at the start of a sentence, it can mean I think or in my opinion, and you have to remember to switch the next two words round. So how would you say in German, I think it's very good? Für mich ist es sehr gut. Für mich ist es sehr gut. Or how would you say, I think it's delicious? Für mich ist es lecker. Für mich ist es lecker. Or how would you say this in German? I think it's absolutely extraordinary here. Für mich ist es ganz außergewöhnlich hier. Für mich ist es ganz außergewöhnlich hier. Or how would you say, I think it's fantastic here? Für mich ist es fantastisch hier. Für mich ist es fantastisch hier. Now we've added quite a few new words to our German repertoire. Let's practice them by putting them together into some sentences. So how do you say in German, it's very beautiful here? Es ist sehr schön hier. Es ist sehr schön hier. Or how would you say, it's absolutely beautiful? Es ist ganz schön. Es ist ganz schön. I think it's very good. Für mich ist es sehr gut. Für mich ist es sehr gut. It's absolutely extraordinary here. Es ist ganz außergewöhnlich hier. Es ist ganz außergewöhnlich hier. It isn't for me. Es ist nicht für mich. Es ist nicht für mich. It isn't very good for me. Es ist nicht sehr gut für mich. Es ist nicht sehr gut für mich. It isn't good. It's absolutely extraordinary. Es ist nicht gut. Es ist ganz außergewöhnlich. Es ist nicht gut. Es ist ganz außergewöhnlich. It's absolutely delicious. Es ist ganz lecker. Es ist ganz lecker. I think it's delicious. Für mich ist es lecker. Für mich ist es lecker. I think it's fantastic. Für mich ist es fantastisch. Für mich ist es fantastisch. Now let's have a go at doing some reverse translations. So what do these mean in English? Es ist außergewöhnlich. Es ist außergewöhnlich. It's extraordinary. Es ist ganz schön. Es ist ganz schön. It's absolutely beautiful. Für mich ist es ganz schön hier. Für mich ist es ganz schön hier. I think it's absolutely beautiful here. Für mich ist es gut. Für mich ist es gut. I think it's good. Es ist sehr gut für mich. Es ist sehr gut für mich. It's very good for me. Es ist nicht für mich. Es ist nicht für mich. It isn't for me. Es ist lecker. Es ist lecker. It is delicious. Für mich ist es lecker. Für mich ist es lecker. I think it is delicious. Es ist ganz schön hier. Es ist ganz schön hier. It is absolutely beautiful here. Es ist nicht sehr schön. Es ist nicht sehr schön. It isn't very beautiful. What we're going to do now are some recap translations, which will incorporate words we learnt in the previous lesson, so that you haven't got to keep going back all the time to practice those words. So how do you say in German, it isn't very good? Es ist nicht sehr gut. Es ist nicht sehr gut. It isn't good here. Es ist nicht gut hier. Es ist nicht gut hier. It's absolutely fantastic here. Es ist ganz fantastisch hier. Es ist ganz fantastisch hier. It's fantastic. Es ist fantastisch. Es ist fantastisch. It's good here. Es ist gut hier. Es ist gut hier. It's here. Es ist hier. Es ist hier. It's fantastic here. Es ist fantastisch hier. Es ist fantastisch hier. It isn't good here, it's absolutely fantastic. Es ist nicht gut hier. Es ist ganz fantastisch. Es ist nicht gut hier. Es ist ganz fantastisch. It isn't very good here. Es ist nicht sehr gut hier. Es ist nicht sehr gut hier. It's very good. Es ist sehr gut. Es ist sehr gut. Now let's do some German to English recap translations. How do you say these German sentences in English? Es ist nicht gut hier. Es ist nicht gut hier. It is not good here. Es ist nicht sehr gut. Es ist nicht sehr gut. It isn't very good. Es ist hier. Es ist hier. It is here. Es ist fantastisch hier. Es ist fantastisch hier. It is fantastic here. Es ist nicht gut hier. Es ist ganz fantastisch. Es ist nicht gut hier. Es ist ganz fantastisch. It isn't good here. It is absolutely fantastic. Es ist ganz fantastisch hier. Es ist ganz fantastisch hier. It is absolutely fantastic here. Es ist nicht fantastisch. Es ist nicht fantastisch. It isn't fantastic. Es ist gut hier. Es ist gut hier. It is good here. Es ist gut. Es ist gut. It is good. Es ist fantastisch. Es ist fantastisch. It is fantastic. So let's have a quick recap of all the words we've learnt so far in this first course. How do you say these words in German? It is. Es ist. Hier. Hier. Fantastic. Fantastisch. Delicious. Lecker. It isn't. Es ist nicht. Good. Gut. Very. Sehr. Extraordinary. Außergewöhnlich. I think. Für mich, which you have to put at the start of the sentence and then switch the next two words around. Für mich. Like, für mich ist es gut. I think it is good. Beautiful. Schön. For me. Für mich. and absolutely. Ganz.